Hello, snowboarders of the internet. I'm your host, Avran LeFeber, and in this video, we're going to be reviewing the Yes All In. Now, if you're thinking of picking this up online, we do have affiliate links down in the description below for this or any other products mentioned in this review. And if you're going to your local shop, that's awesome. Slap them a high five and say we sent you in. This board features Yes's cam rocker profile, which means you got rocker in the tips, camber through the middle of the board. That camber section is going to give you all the load, pop, snap, and drive, while that rocker in the tips is going to give you ease entry in and out of turns, as well as more optimal powder float. This board's available in 148, 150, 154, 155 wide, 158, 160 wide, 162, and 164 wide. I rode this board at Copper Mountain on a sunny bluebird day that was warm with the wind and a storm rolling in. The snow was just that perfect Hero snow. You could set an edge in, you didn't have to worry about it. It was kind of creamy mid-mountain and there was a little bit of slush on the lower. As the day went on, it got a little tracked out, so you'd get some chop and chunder in it. I used my Rome Black Label bindings and my K2 Thraxis boots. This is a slightly softer directional twin. It's still in that middle of the road category, but just a hair on the softer side. You're gonna get more play in the tips because of those rocker sections, and then you're gonna have the stiffer midsection where it's cambered, and that torsional flex matches up to it. Nothing revolutionary here. When it comes to stability, if you're really pushing it, the tip is gonna flap a lot. You're gonna feel that resonate underfoot. Now, when you get into rutted out terrain, for the most part, it's fairly stable unless you're like landing slightly off kilter because you got bounced around. You're not gonna have any issues. The only time that I felt anything weird going on with it was really like soft to slushy snow pointing it. If the tip started flapping, when it would slap down, it would start tracking a little off and it would pull you one way or the other. So you kind of had to stay on top of it in that regard. But otherwise, this thing's moderately stable for what it is. This thing's gonna pop different than the extreme version just due to the camber profile and the carbon layup in that versus this. Now, what you do get is a consistent pop, but it just feels like a board you've been on forever that's well broken in, and it doesn't have the same rebound as when you got it new. That means you can load the camber section up, roll back on the tail, it's gonna spring you, but you're not gonna boost to the moon. And what you put in is what you're gonna get out. So you may have to put a little bit more in than you think, but that's just gonna keep you honest. And that kind of translates over to jumps. Small to medium and even some large, it's not gonna be a problem. But if you really wanna pop on the lip, you gotta put more work in. You can't just let it do all of it for you. This is a board that, in my opinion, it keeps you honest. It makes you want to work harder to get more performance out of it. And if you're not feeling like the level of performance you're putting into it, that's when you upgrade to the extreme version. All right, we're about halfway through this review. Go down, give it a thumbs up. And while you're down there, if you haven't already, subscribe, click the bell, get those notifications. That way you're not missing any of the programming we've got coming out for you. Honestly, with buttering, this is where this board shines. If you look at that tip kick and you know you got rocker in the nose and the tail, it locks in and lets you swizzle and sizzle. It's playful without a lot of fight, but you still get a little bit of snap when you need it. You can get weird on this thing. And when it comes to jibbing, it's not gonna win any awards. And by and large, honestly, I think it's a little soggy when you're doing like a tail press or a nose press. It doesn't tend to lock in as aggressively as it could. It kind of just, it's there, it gets the job done. When you go sideways, it cradles fine between the feet. You're gonna be able to slide, but like I said, it's not really what it's made for. It just sort of gets the job done. This board is easy and fluid, meaning that you don't have to think about it when you're just going to engage it on edge. It rolls in smoothly and it's effortlessly. The big issue is that when you're driving it out of the carve, especially if you're flexing it hard from the center back through the tail, that tapered mid-bite tends to disengage. I had this happen numerous times. It really tones down how aggressively you can carve with it. So short, tight, quick carves and medium mellow carves are great, but when you're really trying to lay a trench, drive it, and push off the tail to slingshot you out, you find that you don't have that power. There's nothing wrong with that, but if that's something that you're banking on, you need to understand that you're probably gonna end up shidding a turn on this. at some point when you're trying to be a little bit more aggressive. It has those limitations. Once you're aware of that, and once you learn what you can and can't do, you can kind of compensate your riding towards that. And it does make it easier for a more intermediate rider or someone that's trying to progress to harder carves. But if you know what you're doing, it is going to hold you back a little bit. Rider in mind, this is for the progressing intermediate all mountain rider, someone that wants a directional twin that's easy to ride and won't hold them back. Like what we're doing over here? Want to support us further? Swing on over to Angry Snowboarder VIP and become a member. Sure, I could tell you more here, but I got a video over there that explains it so much better. This board's a little too loose, especially in the tail for me. I like something that grips a little bit more. I can sit on that and drive it out of a carve. That's where the extreme would come in. The play in the tips is great, the flex is great, but in a category that's saturated with a lot of great boards, this didn't really stand out to me as something super amazing. It's a board I could grab and go out and ride all day with, and it would get the job done. But at the end of the day, would it be like, hey, I want to go buy this? I'd be like, I got the job done, I'll go ride something else. Comparable boards, the Rome Warden, the Ride Shadowban, the Salomon Assassin. Binding recommendations, the Yes Select, the Ride C6, the Union Force. All right, this has been my review of the Yes All In. If you're not feeling it, go watch one of our other videos. Believe me, we've got so much programming for you. There's definitely a board out there for you.